Hello, my chunky cuties! Welcome back, okay? Welcome back. Like, we're over here on YouTube. This is what we're doing, all right? We're here. It's happening. Welcome. Comment below how you're doing. I really want to know. I really want to know where we're at in our self-love journeys, in our journey of loving ourselves and being nice to ourselves and being patient with ourselves. How's that going for us? Now, I wanted to come here today because we need to talk about the number one asked question that I get. And that question is, where does my confidence come from? Where does it come from? Here's the thing, that's something that's a little bit broad and kind of not hard to explain, but I've sat a lot with it and just to kind of think about, you know, how to answer that question because it's hard. You know, I think that there's a big difference between growing up heavy and growing up thin. And then, you know, there's stories, I mean, I've seen like all of a sudden women will just gain like 50 pounds at the age of like 35. And for someone who has lived the life of someone who's thin, that can be jarring, especially because, you know, the plus size community, not even a community, it's just like living this life, being a plus size person in America, you know, with the fashion, and you're not included in a lot. And like, if it's all you've known, you know, I've never known what it's like to shop in Forever 21's normal size section. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what that's like. I've never had that, so I don't feel the loss of it as if it was taken away from me. As if I've gained, you know, that weight. So, you know, then we can go into what it's like growing up chunky. And, you know, like we all have different experiences. I guess with my experience, you know, I grew up with small siblings. Like, I was really just the biggest person. My parents, you know, fluctuated with their weight, but I was like the one that was just like flatline. Like, I'm the chunky one. And what I said, my parents fluctuated with their weight. My mom fluctuated with her weight. And I've had a lot of conversations with my mom about growing up and just kind of like, as I've been on this journey trying to answer this question for you guys, where does my confidence come from? I have to go back to how I was raised and where I grew up and the environment that I grew up in. And, you know, I don't want anyone to click off and be like, well, I was treated like shit by my parents, so therefore I'm a lost cause. No. But if anything, let's say in tandem, you can listen to how I was raised, see how I am, and be like, I want my daughter to be like that. Let me hear this out and see what happens. But I will say my number one thing is I don't have any memory of my mom speaking badly about herself. Ever. And I think what's really important is, and why that's so important is because my entire life, I was told that I look exactly like my mom. Like, I had strangers come up to me in grocery stores and be like, are you aware that like you are your mother? Like, you guys have the exact same face. Like, do you guys know? And I'm like, no, I actually don't know. Thank you. But like, me growing up and every single person ever telling me that I look exactly like my mom, if my mom then looked at herself in the mirror and was like, I'm ugly. This is what's wrong with me. Ugh, I hate my this. I hate my XYZ. I look so bad. How could I have not said, wait, but people say I look exactly like you. So does that mean that I'm ugly? That means this is wrong with me. That's what this is wrong with me. So why I bring up how my mom spoke about herself is because I think this is for the women out there who feel like they can't do it. If you feel like you can't be nice to yourself and kind to yourself for yourself, do it for your children. Do it for your daughter. Say those nice things to yourself in the mirror for her to hear. Even if it's literally just for her. I know you would do it for her. And if you don't have a child, picture yourself in middle school, okay? Picture the smallest version of you that needs to be comforted, that needs to be loved, that needs to hear those things. If you grew up with a mom that was telling you that you just are like chunky and need to lose weight, stand in the mirror, look at yourself and say, you're perfect the way you are. And then you'll see how easy, and it's just like, it's work, all right? It's work, and you just gotta work at it. Confidence is a spectrum, okay? I started online. I would never think of posting like unedited photos of me or videos of me, my unedited body in a bikini online. I would never in my life. It's slowly, but I'm slowly working on it. Now I'm putting it out for millions to see. Like, confidence is a spectrum, and it's something that you have to work on. It doesn't just come overnight. Like, I didn't drink a confidence juice when I was 7, and that's why I am the way that I am. I work towards it. It's every single day. So I think something that's important to note is that my family doesn't use self-deprecating humor. I don't really like self-deprecating humor. Like, I think it's like, let me hurt myself before you hurt me. And it's like, but no one was gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? And it's just like, just keeping that positive attitude in the household. My mom also used to say, she has a memory that we would like grab her stomach. I mean, she had 3 kids. After 3 kids, we'd grab her smushy stomach and we'd be like, it's so squishy. And she'll be like, yes, it's because it was your home. I created all 3 of you. This is where you grew, in my belly, and that's why it's squishy now. And it's just like I think that subconscious in me, like, it was just like, it really helped. My mom also shielded me a lot from people's comments. Like, I know people in my family, you know, made comments to me, and, you know, my mom was like, well, you know, they think that I was just like feeding you cookies in the kitchen all night. And it's like, no, we ate organic. We ate we ate so healthy. It was just my body. Like, sometimes women's bodies, it's just like, it is what it is. I had PCOS, my little light, like, I was like a little thing with PCOS, like I couldn't, whatever. Yeah, I want to make it known that it's not in my vocabulary to speak badly about myself. And it never has been. If it has been in your life, just become aware of it. When I'm with people, it could be annoying, I don't know. But when I'm with people hanging out and they say something bad about themselves, I call it out. I also call out if they say sorry too much. But if they're like, oh, like, I just like, ugh, like, I look ugly. I'm like, no, you don't. You literally don't. You don't look ugly. That doesn't look bad. Your hair doesn't look bad. Like, it's really, and why I do it is simply just to kind of like make you aware of it. Because sometimes we're not even aware of it. We're not aware of how much our words can sink in, even if we're joking, even if we're just like poking fun, like saying something negative about yourself. Your brain hears that, all right? And I feel like my brain's a girl. She doesn't know if you're lying or not, okay? All she hears is that you think that you're fat. Also, if you're fat, so it's fine. It's kind of fun. The way that you speak to yourself is really important. My Grammy taught me early on, because she saw me in a mirror once, like really like picking at my face, or I was like doing something, and she was like, no. She was like, take 3 steps back, and then let's talk about it. And really what she was saying is that like no one sees you up close. No one sees you that close up. No one is looking at your flaws as like precisely and I don't know, what's another word? And harshly as you are seeing your own. And that's kind of a big thing about confidence, is realizing that no one else even cares. No one cares about anyone but themselves, really. Anyone but themselves. And here's how I know. Even if they're looking at you and thinking that you look horrible in that bikini, you know what that is? It's projection. They're either fat phobic and afraid that they could look like that, God forbid, or they're 10 times skinnier than you and still don't have the confidence to wear a bikini. So they look at you, the person that society says should be hiding in a trash bag in the room because God forbid we weigh over 200 pounds. They see you rocking a bikini and loving life, and they're hella jealous. So they're projecting it onto you. They're trying to bring you down to their level. It's really a lot of just like, okay. The amount of hate comments I get, the amount of like, oh my God, stop going to McDonald's, the whatever, like, okay. I actually don't go to McDonald's. So you don't know what I'm doing, okay? Sometimes, God forbid, a fat person is fat not because they sit down and eat an entire cake every day. Anyway, so that's a big piece of it. And now let's go all the way around, and we're taking these two pieces together, okay? We're taking how we talk about each other and how we talk about ourselves, and we're also talking about like projection and how we feel about other people. I want to bring up a concept. We're a little tough love around here, but I'm going to bring up something. There's some people out there that will see someone who looks a little fakakta on the side of the road, and they'll be like, ugh, look at that woman's hair, like she looks like a mess. I usually am not that person. Usually I will look at someone and be like, oh my God, I love that shirt. My initial thought when I'm looking at someone is seeing their beauty or something that I like or something, a shirt, like it's always something positive. So because that's how I think, that's how I assume others are thinking about me, okay? So when I'm walking out the door and I'm wearing a cute shirt and I've got arm flaps, I'm going out there and be like, everyone's gonna love my shirt. I'm not thinking everyone's gonna go see my arm flaps, because I'm not going out looking at other people's arm flaps. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's look inward and try to understand like where these insecurities are coming from, where this feeling that you're being watched and judged is coming from. If it's coming from family in the past, I'm sorry. Again, it's probably projection. They probably saw you being a little chunky and they were like, what if I was like that? Like, I don't want her to like fit. But again, like being fat doesn't mean being ugly. Being fat doesn't mean being self-conscious. Being fat doesn't mean being unworthy of literally anything. So we need to just like rid ourselves of this feeling that this is bad, because it's not bad. This is where we're at. This is what our bodies look like. This is where we are today. It's like what I said in the beginning. Or maybe it was in a different video, I don't know, I said it somewhere. That even if we wanted to lose 50 pounds, even if we were like, you know what, I'm gonna be my most confident, I'm gonna love myself the most when I'm down 50 pounds. That's not gonna happen overnight. That's not gonna happen in a month. That's not gonna happen in 2 months. That's not gonna happen in 3 months. It's not gonna happen in 4. If it did, it was probably a little dangerous and you're probably gonna like lose your hair. Okay? So why, for those 4 months, let's say, do you have to be so utterly mean to yourself? I started TikTok in 2022, 2021. I started around 235 pounds. I slowly went up to I almost hit 280. And then I lost another 45, and then I lost it again. And not a single person noticed. They didn't notice my weight gain. Everyone was noticing my weight loss, but no one noticed my weight gain. I gained 45 pounds in front of everybody, and my confidence didn't falter once. You know why? Because it was what it was, okay? I had a PCOS flare-up, and like it is what it is. That's life. We're women. Oh my God, we're women. And it's okay. You know what? I didn't even go up a pant size. Like my jeans were a little tight, but like I didn't even go up a pant size. Like it's all right. I think the main reason why I'm so confident, where my confidence comes from, I guess you could say it's empathy for myself. It's being gentle with myself. It's being nice to myself. Like it's understanding that, you know, I can't just go all in on a diet, because then I'll feel guilty, and then, you know, I'll eat a bunch of cookies because I felt like I wasn't allowed to have cookies. It's learning yourself. It's being nice to yourself. It's being patient with yourself. I lost 45 pounds by loving myself, you know? I didn't like look in the mirror and say, ugh, you fat pig. Like you need to get in the gym. Like, what are you doing? No. No, I learned about my body. I learned about PCOS. I'm gonna film videos about my PCOS journey as well. And I just learned more about myself so that I could better take care of myself. And that's what I've been doing. And again, it doesn't have to be driven by hatred, driven by, you know, the need to be skinny, because you see it over and over again. That the woman who lost 100 pounds, she looks in the mirror, she still feels like she never lost 100 pounds. And she's still like a sad bean. So again, it's like losing weight just to be like, oh, like I'll be happy over here. I'll be happy once that scale says XYZ. That's not going to get you very far. As Casey Musgrave says, you have to find a deeper well. That was deep. Guys, this was deep. Was this good? Does this help anybody? All right. Here is my self-love homework for you guys. No one leave, okay? I know the word homework brings back trauma, but it is what it is. All right, here's our homework. I want you to, for 1 week, not say anything bad about yourself out loud. It's all right if it comes across in your brain. Don't let it leave your lips, all right? If it does leave your lips, I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to say 3 things that you love about yourself. Doesn't need to be physical, just 3 things. And then the next day, it needs to be 3 different things. Looking at yourself with kinder eyes and more patience and more empathy, the way that you would look at your loved ones. And I need you to remember that, again, you following this, you coming on here and being like, where does her confidence come from because I want some of it? That comes from loving yourself. That desire to love yourself more is coming from the love of yourself. Like, you have it in you. You know you have it in you. You know that you can go out in a bikini and stand with your shoulders high. Because the girl next to you is probably trying the same thing. And you both can look at each other and say, girl, you look good. You look good in that color. You look good. I love that belly out. Because you know why? It could all be over tomorrow, okay? Also, you'll never see those people by the pool ever again. Get your belly tan and stop caring about what others think about you. You know why? It's only eating you alive. On that note, follow me, subscribe. My passion in life is getting all my chunky cuties to love themselves fully and love themselves for who they are. Because that's what we all deserve. We all, like, there's enough going on in the world, okay? We don't also need to cause our own problems. Subscribe, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, all over the place, and amen. Okay? Don't forget your homework. And I'll see you soon.